Welcome, Samara.
Thank you.
It's a formal introduction.
It's very formal.
It's a formal introduction for a formal time of year.
Okay.
Okay.
Which is?
Tax time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Everyone, no, it's fine. Like, I'm good with taxes, but everybody else's right now is like, delete. Like, taxes is not a fun subject.
But you're good with taxes. Why?
I'm great with taxes because I put it away. So I have a separate account for my taxes that it comes out automatically each week, because I learned very early on that if I didn't put my taxes away, I would be constantly in this juggling act of the taxes come in, but then I feel like my profit is gone. And then every time I would pay a bill, no matter how much it was, it always just felt like such a loss. And having a really successful business now, the amount of tax I pay is insane.
I feel like you've really flipped your mindset on what tax is, though.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
You know
I think
what I mean?
you get to that point where you're like, tax is not my money.
Yeah.
And that was a really hard moment to come to go, that all that money is not my money. And I think once I did, it took away the anger for me, because we're going to have to pay it no matter what.
Exactly right.
No matter what. And I think a lot of times people are forgetting, especially when they're new into business, that when you worked for somebody else, you paid taxes, but you don't see it.
So you don't feel
So
that
you don't
same.
feel like, So whereas if your full gross wage got paid to you and then your taxes got taken out. So if, say you got paid an amount and then say you got paid $1,500, for example, and then $400 got taken out through tax, you would see it, or you had to pay that tax. You would see it and you'd be really conscious of it. But because that's not how the system works and your boss pays that, it feels more like when we have to pay it when we become business owners, you feel angry. But really, we're just doing what we've done anyway.
Yeah.
And then any money that you're making that is profitable, you still have to pay tax on. And yes, it sucks, but it's never going to stop. So if you can flip your mindset so you start to feel really proud when that amount of money comes in and that bill comes in and you can just pay that amount of money out. Like, for me now, it just becomes numbers.
Yeah.
So having a separate bank account really helps, because it helps flip my mindset that it is just a number. So when it goes out, I don't feel as angry about it. Whereas if it was in my main bank account, I would start to feel really anxious when that money left.
I will just drop in a note here quickly as well, as we talk about things like bank accounts and accountants and stuff like that, that we are not qualified financial advisors. Anything you hear in the following information is purely based on life experience, and you should seek the advice of a professional if you would like more information.
It's not us. We're not professional. This is just the way I've done things.
Yes.
And I've set things up so that it feels really clear for me and so that I always have money there. But I would definitely say one of the things you can do is go to your accountant and really find out the numbers. But also, don't just rely on your accountant, because, I have clients who their accountant is telling them one number, but from me looking at their accounts, like, there's no way that number is going to be enough. So you're better to put more away than not enough and then have the bonus at the end, rather than, a bill coming in that's, say, $20,000 and you've only got 15 and then you feel cranky about it.
Right.
So the more you can put away, it's just a different bank account. When the bill comes in, at least you're able to pay it.
It's concerning that people are getting that advice from professionals and it's not enough. Like, that's a different topic though. So what I think we'll do is we've got like a little bit of a quick fire question and answer.
Cool.
So we'll look at a few topics. We'll see what you have to say on them.
Sweet.
So
let's do it.
Okay. What are your top 3 tips to tackle tax time? I feel like we've covered one of them, but let's go back into that.
Always put your money away. I would get full lists off your accountant of everything that they need from you, which is claimable. So things like your private insurances, things like your car, like, have all of that ready, because otherwise my accountant's like sending me through emails. I need your car invoices. I need your insurance invoices. I need this. I need that. So making sure that you're kind of keeping that stuff as you go.
Did you know what you could claim, or did your accountant like help you with the things you could claim along the way?
My accountant definitely helps me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know all the things I can claim. But I think having a really good accountant, if that's a third one, having a really good accountant that you can really talk to and feel like really understands you, I think is one of the important things. Like if you don't feel like you can ring them and be like, I don't understand this, or can I claim this, or what do you feel about that? And also an accountant that's really going to work for you to paying the lowest amount of tax. You know, it's like, are they really working to solutions so that you're not paying high tax? And I think that's a really important one too.
Okay, awesome. Okay, let's say, what are some of the things you usually claim for your salon during the tax time?
I claim everything that I possibly can. You know, I make sure to claim all my Woolies orders and things like that go through the salon. So, you know, I was like, how cautious have I got to be? Like, this is Taxman, are you listening? Like, I feel like I've got to be careful here. This is like on a big spectrum, but anything that you can claim, you know, it's all your sundries that go through the salon. So all your grocery lists, all your booze, because we serve booze at our salon. Anything that you can claim. I think
you really streamlined that process too. Like all the groceries are online ordered, so it's really clear.
It's
you can
super
see
clear.
where it's, you know, like there's a specific account that those things get paid from.
And I
so
think that's the thing
there.
too, is if I can say anything, not so much what can you claim, because I think that has to be an accountant's. I don't want to tell you to claim something and then get my ass kicked for it. Like, you need to know what you can claim. I know what I can claim, but you need to check that out, because some accountants will say some things and some accountants won't say the others. But I would be really clear on that. Like, I claim every time I get the girls' lunch and things like that. That's all claimable. I would say though that I have one bank account where everything goes in and out of, and nothing personal goes out of that account. If I want anything personal, it goes to my personal account and then goes out of that. Whereas I find so often there are businesses that are spending out of that account just like it's their personal, which I used to do, but I do not do that anymore. And everything is really streamlined. So anything I know that's come out of that account, even if the accountant comes back and says, what is this? And I'm like, ooh, I kind of forget, but I know that it's for the business.
That it's for
anything that is claimable for the business will go out of that account. So it's really easy and quick to do.
Yeah, and all your references are there and you can see it. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Do you usually do a bit of a stock up before the end of financial year? What kinds of things do you replace stock up on, i.e. tools, scissors, etc.?
It depends on what I need. I, again, will take my accountant's note here and say, like, is there anything I can be doing to reduce tax further? Because I don't want to say to everyone, go spend heaps and then you be left short.
Yeah.
So I would, again, take your accountant's advice depending on how much money is sitting in your account. I do a really big spend with my company, actually. Hair care. I do a big spend with hair care before, but I think that's also because companies can have incentives depending on what tier you're with them. So I am a prestige partner with hair care. So there's different tiers that you can work from where you can get, you know, as a business owner, you can get bonuses and stuff like that. So not so much for tax time, even though, yes, it does help, more so for looking at what companies can offer in the terms of rebates and stuff like that, so that I would spend more come the end of the year so that there's a bit more in my rebate.
Yeah. I think it's different for your staff too, because for your staff, that's probably when they are going to need to stock up. And in the salon,
that's when they know they can claim it back.
Yeah, exactly right. So it's like, okay, you need some scissors, or okay, what's happening with your blow dryer, and you can do that in like an order through hair care before the end of the year.
I have never had an accountant say to me, go buy a car, but I have known other friends that have had that. I am in this will be my first proper big tax with my new accountant this year.
Oh.
So it'll be interesting, and I'm happy to talk on that kind of come after tax time, but this will be the first time that I do it with her. So I know that there's a lot of change, and I think it's going to be really, really, really beneficial, which is why I say to anyone, like, find an accountant that really feels like,
feels like they're working for you as well.
Like, and that you can understand.
Yes. Yeah. So important.
Like, I think that we just go, because we don't want to seem stupid, but I don't understand any of that. And the more I'm making myself understand it, the more I can make it work for my business.
For sure. Okay. Let's have a look here. What is the most random thing that you have claimed as a hairdresser or salon?
My Thermomix.
Why? That's hilarious.
Again, please don't forward this on to the tax men. I make margaritas in it.
You do.
Yeah.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
The salon's Thermomix.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool. How do you organize all your tax time paperwork and documents?
I don't. I just put that shit in Xero.
Yeah.
So I
See, that's a big thing too, though,
I
right?
reconcile constantly, so that everything is all ready to go. Like it's no more of the days of the shoebox. Like everything is just there. Like everything. Again, this is coming back to in and out of one bank account.
Yeah.
Like every reference is there, and I keep all the receipts, but I just no. Like it's all in my bank account. It's all in my Xero. It's so clear just because in and out of my bank account, I make sure that nothing else is spent so that my work bank account is so clear and I can just reconcile it through Xero. It makes it easier.
Same with your work email, like all your invoicing and stuff like that
Yes.
coming through your emails so that you've got that separate one where all the emails are there.
I just archive it because I don't need it to attach to it because I've got the payment reference sitting there.
Yeah.
So I just make sure that I'm keeping up to date with my Xero. So that's done so that my accountants can just go in the backside and do it.
Nice.
I'd love to say that I'm really good at it, but I also have like probably 300 reconciles to do right now. But that's what I like to do.
Yeah. And it makes sense. Like who
Yep.
wants to be stuffing around with paperwork these days?
No one.
No.
No one.
Not when you can have it all automated. I like
Yep.
that a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you send your team on any trainings in education? And if so, do you usually include these as tax deductions?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All tax deductible. And yes, we do training in the salon. But the girls will pay half because I think it's also really important for them to feel just as excited and passionate about doing something rather than me just paying for it.
Invested. They're more invested.
They're
if
invested.
They have to
Invested
invest
is
in
a great word. If they have to invest in it, I feel like they get so much more out of it. Whereas if I'm just paying for it, it's just another thing that they go to.
Yeah.
So yeah, they pay half so they can claim half and I pay the other half. And then it's the same. If we go away, I claim all the travel expenses, all the food, and I say the same thing to them. You know, claim your travel, claim your food, all of that, because if we're going away for training or whether it's in the salon. But yes, certainly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely claim all of the education that we do and the travel that we do that comes with it.
Do you do anything to support your team with their own tax time?
No, but this is a good suggestion.
Is it though? Is it up to you?
Look, no, you're right. It's not another thing I need. I love that you say that because you used to work for me. No, it's not something I do love the idea. One of my girlfriends actually, Bridget, shout out to you. She did do a financial planning meeting with her staff with a financial planner.
Oh, look, I really like that.
Love that idea. I think that's a really cool idea. But when it comes to taxes, no. Again, not my responsibility. And I want my team to lead themselves.
Yeah, encouraging financial literacy and holding people's hands to do their taxes.
Yes.
It's up to you as a person.
Yes, to do your own tax. I have to do my own and that's enough. So I don't need to do yours too.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having support within like financial planners and things like that in meetings for your team, but then it has to be self-led. So I'm not going to lead you to do you can do your taxes, but here's someone that can give you support if you need it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we don't need to be doing
If my staff was struggling with something, I definitely would say, let me talk to my accountant. I'll ask her.
Yeah.
But no, I do not do their taxes for them.
Yes. Are there any resources that you would recommend to help with tax time?
A good accountant.
Yes. Huge.
No, not that I know of, not that I use. A really good accountant, making sure that your bookkeeping is up to scratch, or if you have a bookkeeper, making sure that feels really clean too.
Yeah.
For me, it's knowing my business inside and out. So I don't want to just resource my business out. I felt like that was a big mistake for me in the past, is just like putting my business in everybody else's hands and hoping for the best that they are doing the job I need them to do. But I don't know how to do that job. So I'm I've really taught myself how to know how to be across the business in all areas, including finances, including tax, so that I really understand it, so that I know come when my tax gets done, it's already sorted.
Yeah.
You know, it's not waiting until tax time to go, shit, it's tax time and I need to get on top of all of this. It's all the pre-stuff that you do from the start of the year. So if you feel like your taxes are tricky and that it's hard and then come tax time you're really stressed, then why don't you start July 1st and implement for next year? Like, why aren't you putting your taxes away? Why is that? Like, I feel like everyone gets to tax time and they're like, it's tax time. I'm like, it means no difference to me.
Yeah.
It means zero difference.
This day year that you're earning money, it is tax time.
It's tax time. Yeah.
Yeah.
This year my goal is actually to get a refund.
Oh, nice.
I haven't done that before, but I have a pretty cracker accountant. So I think more so it shouldn't come down to tax time. It should come to tax all year round.
Yes.
So how are you doing it in your BAS? How are you doing it in your tax? How much money are you putting away in the account? Is it covering you? Are you putting your girls' taxes away? Are you putting their super away? Like, it's every day, every week, tax being put away. Like, not come tax time, holy crap, I need to find this money. It's like, I just know it's already going to be there. So you've got to also remember, if your business is successful and it keeps making money year on year on year, you're going to be paying tax more every year.
Yeah.
Like, it's not staying the same. If I'm not paying the same tax as I did 15 years ago, I wish I'd be a baller, but I'm not paying the same amount of tax. It goes to new brackets.
Yeah.
So making sure that as the business grows, that's probably one thing I can say. As your business grows, your tax payment, if you're putting it away, and if you're not, we need to talk. But if you're putting it away, your tax, you definitely should be increasing your tax payments. Like, you definitely should be, each week that you're putting that away. If you were making 100,000 last year and this year you're making 300,000, you need to be putting more away. So that's why the conversations with your accountant of, am I putting enough away? Is this secure enough? Is this comfortable enough? Because otherwise what happens is you do your taxes at the end of the year and then your pay-as-you-go amount increases. So the tax, like, everyone would know sort of this, but don't take me as gospel, guys. Again, not a registered tax accountant. But what happens is if you paid $100,000 last year in tax, the taxman now knows that that's how much you pay. So he wants you to pay that in your BASs each quarter.
Oh, okay.
So he breaks that down to $25,000 a quarter.
Okay.
And then you've got to pay that each quarter, because then he realizes, oh, you're actually going to owe me $100,000 at the end of the year. And I want to make sure you can pay that throughout your working year and not wait till the end of the year. So it's like a prepayment. The pay-as-you-go tax. I think it's pay-as-you-go. Look, we're hoping.
Yeah.
So again, hairdresser, not tax agent. So that each year will go up. So even you might feel like, whoa, it feels like so much I'm paying more, but it's because you made more the last year and you paid more in tax.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, these are all the things that I'm learning.
I know, it's wild. Like, even if you're not paying yourself a wage that pays tax on it and super, and you're just taking money as like director's loan. Like, so say you're every week, instead of paying yourself a wage, you just pay yourself $1,000 as a director's loan. Like the accountant says, hey, just director's loan. People forget they've got to pay money on that. Like, they've got to pay a tax on that.
Yeah.
So if you can pay yourself a wage and already pay your taxes when you pay your staff, it means come the end of the year, if you've taken $1,000 a week, which is like $52,000, you're going to have to pay the tax on the $52,000.
Yeah.
Whereas if you pay yourself $1,000 but actually only pay yourself like $850 because you've paid the $250 or whatever it is in tax, it's already prepaid. So you don't have to think of it come the end of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's better to pay yourself a wage, I think.
In my
personal opinion, that's what I've been doing for the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to make a massive difference to what my tax looks like at the end of the year, because it's not, now I don't then have to pay all the taxes on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's so interesting and insightful. I do love learning things from you, Samara.
These are all important things for Jen, because Jen has just opened her own little business. So she's constantly ringing me like, can I claim this? is this a good thing to do? Am I
Yeah.
putting enough tax away? I'm like, you're fine. We've got this.
I am. And I must say, I love the fact that I'm coming into the end of financial year and I can just order all my stuff online as a sole trader as well with my little hair care account, not like a prestige salon account. And it's super easy. And then all my invoice gets emailed to me and everything's there for Mr. Accountant. It's great.
So good.
So good.
Amazing. Look
Is
at
there
you go.
anything else we need to think about other than Thermomixes for like any little last tidbits for Taxman, tax time?
If you can get yourself into that mindset piece,
Yeah.
you know, if you can set yourself up and get yourself into that mindset piece. I had a tax bill years ago back when I was in debt, and I just felt like I was constantly like paying one off and then another one come in and then I'd pay off. If you can get off a payment plan
And actually be paying your taxes rather than paying off your taxes.
that is one of the most beneficial things you'll ever do for your business,
For sure.
so that you're not, you know, you don't have this constant debt to the tax office. So it can be done. If you are wondering, please listen to episode 4 with Sherelle
Yes.
on taxes and how she is coming out of $150,000 worth of debt, but she has prepayments of like 30 or 40K in her account for a future debt. So I think if you don't know how to do this and you need support, this is when a business mentor coach can come into such handy to be able to get on top of that and to be able to make more money, to be able to paying for your taxes, but also be able to show you how to put that away. Because once I learned how to put my taxes away and then, you know, just simply be paying, I paid off my tax, but I say this quite a lot on the podcast, I wasn't robbing Peter to pay Paul. So I wasn't paying my tax off with the money I was making. I was still making sure that I was putting the future tax away.
Yeah, so future tax is being put away, past tax is being paid off. Like you can't just keep only paying past tax off.
Agreed.
Great. That's a great little nugget to finish on, I think. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. There's also a great program in the Salon Rising Finances, which helps people go
Get
through
on
any
top
of
of
their
their
financials.
finances.
Yeah.
I like that little plug, Jen. Yes.
Just slide that one
Yes,
in
there is. We did develop a Rising Finances program because we felt that that was where a lot of people were feeling the struggle.
It's a pain point for a lot of people.
Is the, you know, the tax portion of it and what to be putting away and how much they need to be making so that they can be profitable.
Yeah.
Their business feels like it's thriving.
We all want to be thriving. Awesome. Well, I hope that that little wrap up helps everybody with their tax woes or not woes at the end of the financial year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for tuning in.
See you soon.